A regular part of the weekday liturgy is a confession of sins. It contains a one-word rhyming list of 24 sins that is according to the olive base with the last letter tripled. It is often general. We have trespassed. We have been faithless. We have robbed. We have scoffed. We have rebelled. We have been malicious. We have erred. We have caused others to err. Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. Therefore, another list is added which is longer and detailed. It is 44 lines broken into three groups ending with the frame, "For all of them God of pardons, pardon us, forgive us, atone us." Each of the lines is in the form, "For the sin we have committed against you in such and such." For example, for the sin we have committed before you by the meditation in our heart, for the sin we have committed against you by the desecration of your name, for the sin we have committed against you in eating and drinking, for the sin we have committed against you by casting off the yoke of the commandments. These sins are easy to understand as sins against God. However, there are sins which seem to be substantially against one's fellow man. For example, for the sin we have committed against you by wronging our neighbor, for the sin we have committed against you by contempt of parents and teachers, for the sin we have committed against you by slander, for the sin we have committed against you by being cheap, for the sin we have committed against you by violence. One can understand how the victim of these sins would be offended. However, why are they reckoned as sins against God to the extent we need to ask heaven for forgiveness? If the victim is conciliated, that should be enough. The biblical phrase, "he will bear his iniquity," gives some insight. It is used 5 times in the Chumash. One of them is in connection with the mitzvah of a peace offering. The basic idea of a peace offering is that it is a religious banquet. As such, meat which has been sanctified as a sacrifice should be eaten at the banquet itself. Leftovers are permitted, but must be eaten the next day. To eat the meat on the third day or after is like using a celebration to do grocery shopping. There, the Chumash brands it as an abomination, and one who does it will bear his iniquity. There are similar condemnations for those that eat blood, brother-sister incest, remaining silent when one has relevant testimony, and ascending the Temple Mount in a state of ritual impurity. These can be viewed as victimless crimes, or at least one where the injured party remains ignorant. However, the violator knows what he did. A sense of guilt comes from the violation of the faith. A person has become vile in the eyes of heaven. Similarly, with crimes where there is a victim, for repentance to be complete, the perpetrator must admit to his soul that the behavior was wrong. Certainly, amends must be made to the damaged party, but it is not enough. One must recognize that there is a God in heaven who is master of the world and who has been offended because he misbehaved at his party. In the Al-Chet, we apologize to the Holy One, blessed be he, and in doing so make peace with the religion. Thank you.